Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. I have a few quick questions for you. What do the Federal Reserve Bank, the YMCA, the Montgomery Regional Airport, the state of Illinois, the state of Michigan, and 25,000 other people have in common with me? You know what? I've helped all of them achieve the pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. I'm going to teach you in this exclusive webinar 5 secrets to wealth and the common sense strategy to achieve the American dream. And all you have to do is hit that link below and come to this free webinar. I'm going to teach you in 30 days how to guarantee you to become consumer debt free, have an 800 credit score, earn a 6-figure passive income, and pay off your home in 7 to 10 years early. And all you have to do is hit that link below and you too can have the pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. Hit that link and I'll see you on the webinar.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth, it's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Life tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly. Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount on DJ the Money Coach by entering promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase. Now, let's start the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the DJ the Money Coach Financial Expert Series, brought to you by the 7 Spheres of Money. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. And before we get into this powerful, phenomenal interview with a young financial expert, dealing with real estate and wholesaling, just a reminder to like this video, share it, and subscribe to the 7 Spheres of Money on YouTube. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can spread this gospel of financial freedom, pom-pom lifestyle, and real talk from real Black men and women. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to DJ so he can introduce our expert for this program.
Oh yeah, man, it's awesome, man. This is a unique opportunity, and man, I'm excited about this because this is the Financial Expert Series with DJ the Money Coach, and our primary focus is to bring people that look like us, that are helping our community, and to achieve the pom-pom lifestyle. And this gentleman here, man, is a go-getter, and he's actually taken something that I personally, I'm always straightforward people, that I had a negative connotation about this industry because most people that got into it, from my estimation, and I've been doing this for about 2 decades. Right. So my estimation, it was a get rich quick, hustle with most people I came across. But when I met this gentleman in Atlanta, when we were speaking at the Classy Climb Tour, shout out to Erica Williams, I said, wait a minute, here's somebody who's actually going about this from an educational, systematic standpoint, and I can actually learn something from this gentleman because we can learn from everybody. And then at that point, ladies and gentlemen, I started following this young man, and he is just revolutionizing the business that turned me into a believer in wholesale real estate investing. So what we want to do is first, like we always do, give a little backstory about this gentleman, give you his, his stats, what I call his bio, that lets you know he's a real expert in what he does. This gentleman is, a graduate of Valdosta State University. He was originally a business major, but then he got a history degree and he became an educator. And you know what? I think the connection is that there's a lot of educators in my family. Nick, our business manager, is a high school educator himself. So that really showed me that this guy was serious about his craft and he wasn't just out here trying to make something for nothing. He's actually a $1 million, business revenue earner in the wholesale market. And he also makes 6 figures a month. And he's done it in, 3 short years. And the thing I like about this is he is a testament to what I tell all people. I say, I've never met anybody that does the 4 dirty little words. Number 1, discipline. Number 2, accountability. 3, plug into a tried and true system, which he created himself. And number 4, put their head down, go to work in 3 years. They can't make 6 figures, be debt free, and live the pom-pom lifestyle. So this gentleman is going to tell the story that's going to reinforce what we've been teaching for almost 2 decades. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you the phenomenal wholesale master, in my humble opinion, Mr. Marquis T. Robinson. How you doing today, my friend?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm great, man. Grateful to see another day, man. Grateful to be on with you and your audience, Mr. DJ. And just grateful for another opportunity, man, to really go after it and be an entrepreneur, man, and really live lifestyle, man. So again, I'm grateful to be on, guys. Thank you for having me.
Man, thank you. I mean, I love the way you approach things, Marcus, and I love the way you go out and educate. And like I said, man, for the last couple of months since I met you, I've been following you on IG, man, and I like the creativity, how you do a little entertainment, but you got so much education inside the entertainment for the young people that you keep them captured, and they don't realize it's like Mike Tyson used to sneak that elbow and
right,
and they get all this great education. I was looking at one of the recent IGs where you go out with the for sale buy side and you be
and try to put them up.
Like, hey, I love this. This is my guy right here. So just jumping right in, man. Tell me, what is wholesaling? Because like I said, I had a negative connotation, honestly about it. And let me tell you why that was, Marquis, because I had a personal experience. So I own real estate property in Detroit Metro, and I've been in that market since 2005. Me and my high school friend, we have accumulated 240 units that we own debt-free. I don't own all of them. He doesn't own all of them. We actually manage the majority of them, but we own about half, right? So in the process of going to auctions and stuff, Marquis, we would find wholesalers that would find us properties, and then they would get the property. They may spend 5, 10, maybe an hour finding a pretty much trash piece of property, which we're looking for. And let's say it was worth $4,000 or $5,000. They'll turn around and try to charge us 10. And I'm like, wait, man, hold up. I don't mind you making money, but if you ain't put that much work in and you expect me to buy it off and increase the value that doesn't leave enough meat on the bone for us to share with our members, I can't get down with it. And I literally, last year, Marquis, I actually was buying like the 6 or 7 property, agreed on terms in terms of how we're going to put the whole package together. The auction price, the construction price, and the resale price, which is about 35 grand. So I look at the closing papers, and unbeknownst to me, I didn't know a wholesaler had found this property. And literally, the property was 5 grand, and he was trying to charge like $6,000, $7,000. I walked away from the table, bro. Real talk. And I said, and they were like, well, man, it's in your budget. I said, but here's the thing. If you would have told me that you found it, I don't mind paying a reasonable price, but how am I going to pay you more than what the property is worth? You increase my costs, and you actually decrease my passive income opportunity.
Exactly.
So that was the last experience I had till I came across you. So tell me from a professional standpoint, what is professional wholesaling, and what differentiates you from all these hustlers who don't have a business system?
Absolutely. So I would definitely say, well, number one, I was actually just in Detroit earlier this week. Great city, man. I met some great people down there. I was looking at some properties myself. I was in the Boston Edison area as well. So it's a beautiful city, a lot of great things.
Actually, my political representative actually runs that part of town.
So you know I'm being straight up with you, Mr. DJ. So you know I'm being straight up with you, Mr. DJ. I was actually there for real. So I would say, man, to answer your question, what separates professionals and hustlers is, I think the thing with the hustlers is they're not thinking about relationships, right? The relationships with the seller, the closing attorney and things like that. They're more concerned with getting a quick check, and they're cutting whomever's legs off on their way to the top. You know what I mean? The way I run my business is we have a price point where we would need to be at, but most importantly, we focus on solving and not selling. So what I mean by that is I focus on solving the seller's problem before I even put a property on the contract. So for example, if 150 is the price that works for the seller and it works for me, right? And I asked them, okay, Mr. DJ, after this property is paid off, how much do you want in your pocket to take care of whatever you may have going on in your personal life or what have you? You know what I mean? Because understand this, with the wholesaling method, we're dealing with a lot of distressed sellers. You're dealing with people behind on taxes. You're dealing with someone with a property that's been vandalized. They may be an absentee owner that, for example, I may live in Georgia and I may own property in Detroit where I can't go see the property every day. You know what I mean? That's an absentee owner and stuff like that. So our biggest thing is we focus on solving the problem. We only want to we don't want to rip anybody off. Meaning we don't want to rip the seller off or the buyer off. So we agree on the price that works and makes sense for everybody. You know what I mean? And we're very clear with our buyers, like, hey, what we're doing is we're finding these properties and we're going to sell the property to you at this price. Does this price work for you? and we're straight up with it. But most importantly, our thing is this. We have a legitimate business. I have a transaction coordinator. She's like my secretary. So she's the one calling you, hey, DJ, did you send the earnest money over? Hey, DJ, does all the paperwork look good, right? I have acquisition guys in my office. They're pretty much sales reps, okay?
Yeah, I seen one of the videos where you
so I have a legitimate team. So I take this business seriously, but most importantly, I take the relationship serious as well, because you just told me, and I didn't even know this, you told me you guys own or control or manage over 100 plus properties. I'd hate to ruin a relationship with someone like that. You know what I mean? Because long term, we can do we can go from doing single family to possibly even commercial deals together if I keep my name clean and I do business by you and whomever else you're working with. So that's really the big stand relationships, man.
Man, you know what? That cleared up everything, Rob. So right off the bat, transparency.
Right.
You actually communicate with the buyer that you're a wholesaler, and
Absolutely.
communicate to the seller that you're actually going to solve their problem. And see, right
Yes,
there,
sir.
every experience I had, Marquis, it was like,
Right.
oh, by the way, I actually assigned in this deal.
Mhm.
Okay, why can't you tell me that up front?
Right.
And give me the option to say, I want to deal with you or I don't. So by
Right.
the fact that you started from that standpoint, I feel more comfortable about doing business, and it's not a one-off.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're telling me that you're actually looking to do multiple deals with both sellers and buyers, and not just trying to hit and run and be out the door.
Absolutely, because my thing is this: I want to be in this business for a long term, not necessarily wholesaling forever, but I would love to be. I respect what you told me. You've been investing in that market since 2005, so that lets me know you've seen the good, bad, and the ugly. I want to be in a position like that one day, so I don't want to ruin any relationships and be focused on chasing the money. You know what I mean? Because if you've been in that market that long, it's bigger than the money to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It may be something personal for you, whether it's you really want to invest in that market because maybe you're from there or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the long-term success of the business, because I mean, the real estate business changed my life, man. And I'm humble and grateful every day that I'm actually in this business where I can do something that doesn't require me getting a license. I can have a team that works for me while I go look at properties that I want to buy for my portfolio in Detroit. So, you know, I'm so blessed to be in the real estate business that I don't want to really burn any bridges in the game. You know what I mean?
Man, you know what? Here's the beauty, because that was actually my question about a little bit further in the interview, but I'm gonna jump right in. Here's the beauty of owning your own business. You can do whatever you want on your own platform.
Absolutely, yeah.
With that said, Marquis, how did you get in the business, and what was the actual entry point that made it accessible? Because wholesaling, really, most people, they don't have any money. They don't have any resources. It's desperation. And I know that wasn't for you, but how did you get into the wholesaling business in of itself?
So when I first got started, it's funny. I was teaching in Florida, right? And I was teaching and I was bagging groceries at night at a grocery store, you know, just because, again, as a teacher salary, man, you know, people don't believe when I say this. I was only making $2,000 a month as a teacher, $2,000 a month, and I was getting paid once a month. You know what I mean? I was bagging groceries at night, you know, just trying to really make ends meet. And I was riding down the road. I was on the way to work one day, and I heard the guy on the radio, guy Dan Merrill. He was like, "Hey, come to this seminar if you want to invest in real estate. If you don't have any money," that was me. "If you have terrible credit," that was definitely me at the time. "And hey, if you want to really make a change in your life and just get out, you know, the rat race or the rut that you may be in your life right now, please come to this seminar. It's free. Just show up with a notepad, and I'm going to teach you about how to wholesale real estate with no money, no credit, no cash. You know, the whole spiel and stuff like that." And it was ironic because my cousin, she's a broker now, but she was actually an agent at the time. And so I called her and I'm like, "Hey, cuz, do you know what wholesaling is?" She's like, "Yeah, I've heard of it a little bit, but you know, I'm really not sure about what it is. I don't even know if it's legal." But I know, right. But she was like, "Hey, but I know as a real estate agent, you know, I make 3% on the deal, and then I give my broker a certain percentage of that 3%. And I kind of started doing the numbers on that. I'm like, okay, well, technically, you really probably only making a little bit more than me as a teacher. I don't quite know if I want to be an agent. You know what I mean? But everybody, when they hear real estate, their first impression is agent, right?
Right.
That's the first thing that pops in people's head. When you talk about real estate, they assume you're a real estate agent. So went to the seminar. It was everything the guy talked about. Hey, market to people who are behind on taxes. They're going through divorce. You know, a list of people you can market to. And you know at these seminars, man, hey, if you have a credit card, come to the back and we'll get you signed up today.
Right.
Of course, my credit was terrible.
I mean,
right. So my credit was terrible. I didn't have any money. So I'm like, man, okay. So I was like, you know what? YouTube is free. So I'm going to go to YouTube and type this guy in and kind of like just educate myself even more. So I eventually moved back to Georgia. I was in Florida at the time. I eventually moved back to Georgia. You know, I got a little bit homesick and I want to be close to my family. So I moved back to Georgia, right? I sat down with my cousin again, who's a broker now. She was an agent at the time. And she was just telling me about the agent thing. And I just wasn't sold on it, man. I was like, drive around Metro Atlanta all day with the terrible traffic, show people homes that they may not like. They may say the cabinets are ugly, so they'll pass. And you're going to get a commission that you have to get a broker, maybe 40% of that.
Right. Why you
know a little bit more than I was making as a teacher, right? So I'm like, that's not for me. I want more control. Now, remember, I told you earlier, I wanted to be a businessman anyway, right? I want to always own my own business. So I felt that being a real estate agent would be just another job to me. That's just my honest opinion. I know some great agents, but to me, I viewed it as a job, right? So long story short, when I got back to Atlanta, a buddy of mine I went to college with, he was on Instagram Live. And, you know, saying like you saw me on Instagram, same thing. He was on Instagram Live. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to this real estate event, this wholesaling event. This black guy's going to teach me how to wholesale real estate. I'm like, man, wait a minute. Same thing, no credit, no cash, right here in Atlanta, man, come for free. I'm like, is this a sign? You know what I mean? Because, again, I didn't have any money, still didn't have any credit, right? It's the second time I heard this, right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to this one, and I'm going to find me a mentor. So I went to the event. The guy was like, yeah, man, if you want to learn the game, you know what I mean? Hey, I can teach you the game, man. It's going to cost you this much, but here's a list of my students who've been successful in the business. So I got with a mentor. I worked with him for close to a year. I closed my first deal with him in 3 months. I made 15 grand.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So Mr. DJ, let's do the math on this. I was making $2,000 a month. That adds up to what, 24 grand? Right. I made 15 grand in the day wholesaling the property.
You made over almost 50% of what.
Man, listen. And before I even started doing real estate, I quit my job and just went for it, man. I don't advise this to anyone, but I had to go for it, man, because I felt as if I didn't, take that leap of faith, I probably would have still been at that job, man.
Actually, that's 60% of your
almost 80, probably.
Man, boy, that is awesome.
We'll be right back with the DJTMC Financial Expert Series after this message. Stay tuned.
I would highly recommend DJ the Money Coach's program because it gives you a 14-page comprehensive financial education plan. And not only does this plan cover your debt analysis, they give you insight into your debt freedom, what you need to do to get debt free, as well as what you need to do in order to retire and how much you will have when you retire.
As I was reading this, I was expecting something a little different. I thought it was going to be all nuts and bolts because that's the kind of guy Dale is. Dale is all about the numbers, the numbers, the numbers. Well, this book turned out to be both a little bit of nuts and bolts, but a lot of motivation. So if you're someone that's on the fence, looking to get started, just trying to figure out how to do something or what to do, get motivated to get off that couch, I recommend you pick up this book. It's going to get you to move.
He explained to me how to get rid of my student loans, my old student loans that I thought were just insurmountable. He helped me with strategies to reduce my expenses that don't make me feel like I'm sacrificing anything. And it's not the same information that you find like rehashed and repackaged for the internet. It's personalized advice. It considers your current situation, where you are, your goals, and your level of comfort. We put together a realistic plan of things that I can do immediately, things over the next few months, the next year, and then long term.
Hello, my name is Tim from Southern California. Just want to give a testimony for DJ the Money Coach. Just had a recent consultation with him over the face-to-face Zoom call and gave me some valuable insight as far as financially wise and how to move forward with my life. And we'll recommend him to anybody and everybody if they want to improve their life financially as well. So definitely, again, nothing but great services and feedback what I've received thus far from DJ the Money Coach, and I advise anybody and everybody about his services. Thank you.
That mentor relationship, and that's a key point that a lot of people don't.
They miss it, man.
They miss it, and I think I might have talked about this when we met, when I was speaking at Classy Climb. I got this acronym. It's a word. It's called STEAM, Marquis. So S stands for science, the T stands for technology, the E stands for entrepreneurship, the A stands for access, but the M is mentorship.
Right.
And in our community specifically, it ain't got nothing to do really with your talent or your intelligence. It's the lack of access and mentorship that can be able to level the playing field to give you a scale up. And you had the wisdom to go the mentorship route before you even jump into the actual wholesale business. Do you think that was attributed to the fact that you were a teacher and you had a formal education? Or was it just that you knew that you didn't know this and it's better to follow somebody that had?
I think Mr. DJ, it was a little bit of both, to be honest with you. Yes, I know I needed someone to teach me more about the business, but also just being humble enough to put my pride to the side and let my ego go and really say, hey, what I'm doing right now is not working. I'm not making any money. I'm not happy. I'm not feeling fulfilled. Let me go all in with this and pay someone to help me streamline the process and get there quicker. I think a lot of people, they drop the ball with that. They're so focused on, I don't want to give DJ $300 or $500, whatever your pricing may be. And they don't think about, man, if I learn this from DJ, no one will ever be able to take this away from me. Also, if I learn this from DJ and master this, I may be able to go teach this to someone else and make my money back. See what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they drop the ball with it. Like the information that I'm teaching now, I learned some of this stuff from him. And you can never take this away from my memory, right? And the same thing goes for my students. I'm teaching you how to fish. You teach me how to fish once, that's all I need. I can forever. You know what I mean? But a lot of people, they don't want to pay you to teach them how to fish. They'd rather just sit on the sideline and stay on YouTube, and hopefully they get it right one day. You know what I mean? I tell people, bro, I did not get here by coincidence, man. I was intentional about learning from people.
Oh man, I love it. So you made $15K on your first deal. Took you 3 months.
Yes, sir.
And when did you make your first 100K? And when did you leave your job? No, you said you left your job if you made the 15K. And,
yeah, right. You know, before I did.
Right. And you know what? It's funny thing. Like people attract like people. I did the same thing.
I was over.
I just quit. I don't recommend it to everybody. But if you build like we are, Marquis, it's the only route for you to go.
I gotta go.
You can't be under somebody's thumb any longer.
I can't. No, sir. No, sir.
So when did you make your first 100K, man, in this business? Because that's in your generation. People are attracted to the money before they're attracted to doing the actual work and the system. They got to see this first, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So I had my first 100K year last year. I did 6 years last year. So again, I got in this business, 2018, right? 2018. So the 2018 was kind of, hit or miss. I was still learning the game. I was still a mentee and stuff like that. So I was closing deals, but it was like 15K the first time. The next time it might have been 12K. And I'm still paying bills. I had a car note and stuff like that, right? And the first year was a struggle because again, I was still learning. But most importantly, mentally, I was still transitioning from the employee mindset to the entrepreneur mindset, meaning no one's going to say, hey, you need to be here at 9. As an entrepreneur, you need to be up at 6. Hit the gym, read, pray, whatever your routine is, and mentally prepare for whatever obstacles are coming your way as an entrepreneur, because they are coming. It's something always going to happen. So I would say, yes, I made my first 100K last year. 2020.
So when did you start putting your system together and realize you had the secret sauce? Because that's when I talk about that 3-year, that first year, investing in yourself. Then you gain an experience where you don't make the same mistakes in the second year. And then the third year, you make a quantum leap because now it's like, oh, snap, I did this. And if I just keep doing this, it's going to multiply and I'm going to get quicker through the processing. So when did you have that aha moment about, man, I got something that I could teach other people and we can scale up rapidly? Because you're a 7-figure business earner in a short period of time, which puts you technically in the top 1% earners, man.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, brother.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It definitely was a goal of mine. I'd probably say, so the thing is, I want to say this. Last year, I started putting the systems together, but I was still growing as an entrepreneur. And I tell people this is one thing I take a lot of pride in. I don't ask anyone that works for me or works with me to do anything that I haven't done myself. Meaning, if I tell you to call Mr. DJ about a property in Detroit, I've called him myself, or I've called somebody in Detroit, so I know exactly what to say. So I take pride in leading by example. So some of the things I had to learn in 2020 was lead by example, meaning you need to record everything that you want done. You need to give them proof that you've done it and how exactly you want it done. So that's 2020. That's when I started. But the aha moment was I was closing deals, but I was like, man, I still feel like I'm hustling. You know what I mean? I had a few employees and stuff like that, but I found another mentor. Mentor number one taught me how to hustle, go out there and find houses, call Mr. DJ over and over and over. Mentor number two, he taught me how to be a businessman. Scaling system, putting systems in place. I paid this guy $5,000 to spend a day with him to learn how to scale my business. This guy was doing $300K a month at the time. Right? So I went from paying a guy a couple $100 to paying someone $5,000 for one day because I wanted it that bad. And I saw the long-term vision, meaning if this guy can make millions doing this, he's only charged me $5K for a day. If I take this serious, go back down south to Atlanta and really get to it. Because again, I was closing deals, right? I had people believing in me. I had team members and stuff, but I had to take a step back and say, okay, do I have this person in the right position? Do they have the capacity to do it? Do they have the competence to do it? And last but not least, do they really want to do it?
Stop right there.
That was the game changer.
Stop right there. You just said the key thing. Do they really want to do it? That's one of the biggest challenges, Marquis, in the entrepreneur world is finding people with talent and intelligence, but at the same time, do you want to do this for yourself, not for me?
Exactly.
That's one of the hardest things. So, man, how did you navigate that? Because that's what entrepreneurs who are successful never even talk about.
It goes back to this. I'm a big reader, man. I'm a big reader. I live by. I have an acronym myself. It's called LSN. Learn something new. I challenge myself every day to learn something new. I have another one. Never stop learning. So I bought a book, Traction. I tell any aspiring entrepreneur, a lot of the game, a lot of the answers to your questions, either you're going to find it with a mentor. If you don't want to pay a mentor, plan B would be find a book on it. Someone wrote a book. People have wrote books on almost anything. You know what I mean? So I found a book called Traction. It talks about putting people in the right position. I had this one guy working for me. He was a hustler, man. He'd show up on time, call everybody in the phone, but it was like, okay, he doesn't have the capacity to negotiate with someone like yourself on the phone. He was in the wrong role. So I switched him to another role and he flourished. So reading that book, Traction, helped me with that. And I started to learn about putting the people in the right position. You know what I mean? They can want it, but at the same time, are you in the right role? You know what I mean? We can relate this to sports, man. I mean, you see some of these running backs, like they're great on the Detroit Lions, but he goes to another team, he's not as good. Right. The system, you know what I mean? So I took pride in building a amazing system, almost close to the Patriots, where I can plug anybody in it and the money will be made. I model it out. You know, I'm a Southern guy, so we love some Chick-fil-A down here. I laugh about this, but I model my business after Chick-fil-A because I'm gonna tell you one thing about Chick-fil-A.
Man, #1 franchise.
Right. If you go to Chick-fil-A in any state, #1, hey, Mr. DJ, welcome back. What do you want? Let me get some fries with ketchup. Okay, would that be it? Do you want sauce with that? Yes, cool. The next step is what? They're taking the payment. The third step is, hey, here's your food, Mr. DJ. Have a great day. Same thing over and over. It's a conveyor belt. And that's how I built my business. It's marketing department, meaning we're going to reach out to you. Hey, Mr. DJ, do you want to sell that property over in Boston, Edison? Yes, great. I have a guy, Mr. Marquis, is going to give you a call back at 6. Does that work for you? Yes, 6 o'clock works. Marquis calls you back, negotiates, puts it on the contract. Once it's on the contract, he sends it to my transaction coordinator. She's going to follow up and have you get all the closing documents sent over and stuff like that, right? Next step is my disposition manager. He's going to set up a time to inspect the property and go look at it and estimate the repairs, right? Last but not least, we get you closed out with the closing attorney. So it's about 5 touch points over and over and over and over and over. And that's how we're making the money we're making because we have a legitimate system in place.
Systems and silos. I talk about that all the time, Marquis, man. That's awesome. I'm going to get that book, man. I always learn.
Yes, sir.
It's a selfish thing because I always tell people, Marquis, you know what? The interviewer actually learns more than the interviewee.
Right.
He probably learns more than the student.
Yes, sir.
And so if y'all don't get that, y'all get that on the way back when y'all see this for the second and third time.
Right.
I'm going to get that book, Traction.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, man, how do you keep the people's interests on IG because I noticed when you do your little skits, but behind the scenes is what really makes the magic. But you got to keep them, you know, drawn in and excited so they can come get this magic. How do you do that? Because that's a skill.
So
that's an art.
my thing is this again. I'm one of those people like I want to learn from everybody. So I have a creative director in my office. He does sales too, but he's also great at content. He's the type of person, because I have a rule. I don't really want any yes men around me. Yes men, yes women, or whatever, right? I don't want that around me because that'll lead you to becoming mediocre. That'll lead you to becoming, have you cutting corners and stuff like that. So I tell him, keep it real with me, bro. Does this suck or not? Is it good or not? So what he would do is, if I bounce ideas off him, again, I'm open-minded. I can learn from anybody. He's younger than me, so he may see things differently from the way I do. Me personally, I'd rather just put it on the drawing board and we can just look at it on the whiteboard all day and we can talk about it. I'm old school, really, truth be told. But I had to get out of my comfort zone, man. I got out of my comfort zone like, hey, this is what's going on right now. Instagram, the reels, TikTok, all that crazy stuff. That's what people want to see because they want to see the money and they want to know that you're legit, but they also want to be entertained to a certain extent. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing, getting out of my comfort zone and really having someone hold me accountable with the content.
What about when it comes to your goals? Because I mean, your saying is wealth forever.
Yes, sir.
And I saw you got
the
Robinson family.
Yes, sir.
Business. So what's the mindset behind wealth forever?
Absolutely.
And how do we sustain it? Because here's the thing I learned, and this with any culture, they get new rich and they so busy showing all the stuff they got. 90% of them cats are gone 3 to 5 years later because they done burnt every dollar that they made and they had no plan for actually building multi-generational wealth. Yeah, so how do you offset that, Marquis? Because you're talking about wealth forever. So tell us and our audience, what's the blueprint for keeping this money that you make and helping these students?
So number one, I would say, I always remember where you were before you got here. That's the biggest thing. Like, I don't want to go back to that $2,000 a month. I don't want to go back to a position where I got to move in with my mom and lay sleep on her sofa. I don't want her to struggle and stuff like that. So the blueprint really is, of course, making the money, but educating yourself and your family on how to keep the money and grow the money. I think that's the biggest drop off with a lot of people is they don't educate themselves or their family on how to keep the money and grow the money. That's really the biggest thing. So with wealth forever for me, it means creating something that will outlive me, something that will outlast me. Put my family in a position where they won't have to, just survive. They'll be in a position where they can thrive. You know what I mean? I call it Robinson privilege. I was telling someone on the podcast a few months back. Robinson privilege to me is my family having the opportunity, but most importantly, they're having the opportunity and the benefit to work wherever they want, right? The options, man. Work where you want, sleep what you want, where you want, eat what you want, go to school where you want. But most importantly, do business with whomever you want to. You know what I mean? And you're not confined when you have a job and you're not making money and stuff like that. And live whatever they want also. So that's my biggest thing. The blueprint is educating our family on it, man. Like educating our family on and setting the expectation on where we want this to be 5, 10, 20 years from now. Because I tell people this all the time. If you look up the top 5 to 10 richest people in America, half of them are the Walton family with the Walmarts.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I tell people about that all the time.
It's crazy. But it's not ironic. It's not ironic. All of his descendants are on that list. And I would even take it a step further. I think, when we talk to our kids about dating and relationships, we need to make sure we set the standard of, okay, we're not out here just to date just anybody. We need to be dating somebody who's going to add to the pot. Because I'm going to tell you something. One of Sam Walton's daughters, she's married to the owner of the LA Rams.
Yeah. I know.
You know what I mean? And this guy is a big time mall developer, man. That's no coincidence that they got married, man. That's no coincidence.
All plan. The funny thing, Marquis, most people don't know that colleges were created for the blue bloods to actually put together to create the wealth to go further. And if you go back and look at the aristocrats in Europe, that's all they did.
Right.
They strategically leveled up, is what you guys call it. They go meet another group of more wealthy people, or if they have a problem with their finances, they get that covered by marrying up with another aristocrat. And colleges were basically generated for that purpose only. And I think down.
I agree with that 100%. And that's something we got to practice as well. That's really a part of the blueprint. It's the uncomfortable part that the conversation that a lot of people don't want to have. We need to make sure we're marrying up and making sure we're putting ourselves in position to marry someone that's going to add something. That's the biggest thing. You know what I mean? If you add something and I add something, it's going to be hard for us to lose.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back with the DJTMC Financial Expert Series after this message. Stay tuned.
Guys, here we go. We live in the lifestyle, making it happen. The dream is real. I'm here with my number one guy on the planet. Man that makes everything happen. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here enjoying this awesome vacation. That's friendship right there. I think it's 10, 12 years. Yes, sir. So, let me tell you guys, only 4 things you got to do. It's real simple. Number 1, you got to have discipline. Number 2, you got to actually be accountable. Number 3, you got to plug into a system. I don't know what system you have, but you got to plug into a system. And then the most important thing is you got to do the work, baby. Because this right here, this is 36 months, 5 years to actually have it the right way and do it right where it doesn't go away. And it's actually me and my homeboy, this is the second time in a row that we've come here, last year and this year, and it only gets better with time. So also remember this, guys, if you master the hard things in life, as you get older, life gets very easy. If you master the easy things in life and try to shortcut the shortcut, life gets extremely hard. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it almost becomes hell because you have not built the right foundation and you shortcut the shortcut in the microwavable society in the internet world, and you have cheated yourself. So with that said, I want you guys to look. Hey, that's the Pom Pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And we want you to come join us on the beaches of the World Club, because my partner tell you, everywhere he travels, it's got to be a what? Real talk. This brother don't go nowhere that don't have a beach. So hey, this is DJ the Money Coach. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. And guess what? Get that ABCs of wealth, the common sense strategy, achieve an American dream, and we'll help you build it. God bless. When did you hit your $1 million in revenue, and where are you now?
Okay.
The business model for
so yeah, we hit $1 million in revenue this June, this summer. Yeah, we hit that in June. Very excited about that. I mean, it's crazy going from $2,000 a month as a teacher to $1 million in revenue. And right now, as it stands in the middle of October, we're at 2 million.
Oh wow!
So we're looking to be around 2.5 by the end of the year. That's the goal.
Man, that is awesome. So if I'm getting into wholesaling for the first time, what would be my 2 or 3 tips that you would recommend for me if I didn't have 2.0? I'm gonna get 2.0, but I don't know anything right now. So what should I be looking at to do if I'm serious about being a professional in wholesale?
So number 1, I will say research the business, like have a clear understanding. Get on YouTube and really Google and really just research the business. But when I say research the business, I'm also talking about research legitimate professionals in this business like myself. I've been featured on Yahoo Finance, Forbes, many other different publications and stuff like that. So like really research and really see who's really doing business, man. Go to that social media and really see who's posting money that's been made, not flashing money around and what nice car they know. See if they got a legitimate team behind them. They're posting and tagging their team, and are they even at the closing table with the attorney? Because like I know, Mr. DJ, you're not just gonna walk in the closing attorney's office if you're not doing business. They don't have time for that. You know what I mean? So I definitely say that, man. Research the business and research exactly who you want to work with, because my style may not necessarily be for you. You may find someone else that may kind of like tailor more to what you're looking for. So I would definitely say that. And educate yourself on real estate in general. Like really, seriously, educate yourself on real estate in general. But most importantly, last but not least, I would definitely find some sales books. Some sales books and some entrepreneur / motivation books, right? Because this business is hard, but it's fair. I tell people that it's hard, but it's fair. I mean, when I say that, it's a lot of money to be made in real estate investing, but mentally, it takes a different type of beast. You know what I mean? I recommend books to people all the time. My number 1 book will be Relentless. You know what I mean? This is the guy. Baby. That's my guy. You know it, Mr. DJ. He's praying MJ and Kobe. And I tell people, my guys in the office, like, this book is so important to me because it changed my life, my thinking.
Man.
You know what I mean? Because in entrepreneurship, you eat what you kill, man.
Exactly.
It is what it is, man. You eat what you kill, and specifically, and really, and with wholesaling, at the end of the day, it's marketing and sales. The product is just property, man. It's marketing and sales, man. Marketing and sales. Negotiate with the seller, negotiate with the buyer to make sure he's okay with the price. You know what I mean? You're gonna market to the homeowner. When you get it on the contract, I'm gonna market to the buyer to see if they want to buy it for this price. Marketing and sales.
Man, ain't that the truth? You know what? Here's the thing I found interesting. I loved about you, Marquis, is you actually have a family mission statement.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about your family mission statement, because now I'm seeing a young guy that actually is projecting 10, 20, 30 years down the road, because
yes,
you got a family mission statement, and 98% of the people don't even know what a mission statement is.
Right.
So where did that come about, and why is that so important for us? Even if we're not in wholesaling, why is a family mission statement important? Because I have one, and I've had one for 20 years, and I saw yours, man, and I was like, oh man, we cut from the same cloth.
Yes, sir. I would say the importance of a family mission statement is you got to have some type of foundation, man. You got to have some type of foundation and standard to hold your family to. You know what I mean? When they get out of line, or you feel as if they're not or they're underachieving and things like that, or maybe they've grown complacent. Like, hey, man, this is the family mission, man. This is where we're headed. We all need to be rolling in the same direction, man. So if you're not rolling in the same direction, we need to sit down and have a conversation and figure out what's going on with you, because I've made these sacrifices so we can get here. You know what I mean? So I tell people all the time, sacrifice now and maybe you can ball later. You know, that's my thing. I tell people, sacrifice now, ball later. If you don't want to ball, sacrifice now, you can enjoy life later, whatever, you know, whatever your vice is, whatever you really like to get into. You know what I mean? So sacrifice now so you can live a great life later, man. And that's really it. Like, I tell people, like, if you're not putting your family in a position to really be in a better position long term, you're selfish. You know what I mean? It's that simple, man. You're selfish. If you spend all the money on you and not investing the money and stuff like that, you're selfish, man.
Man, that's the case. You know, with that said, by you being a young guy, I think you told me you're 31, right? So while you are grinding and building this amazing system as a wholesale professional,
right? Do
you have time, or you even think about the dating scene out there trying to, you know, get up with somebody? Or,
yes, sir. I get that one. I get that one a lot. I get that one a lot.
Personally, I know the answer, but share with these young people what's the.
So my thing is this. I want to be. I don't want to be grinding like this at 41. So I'd rather sacrifice now at 31, 32, 33, and so on. So I'll be good, you know, in my 40s, where I have even more control and more flexibility and stuff like that. Another thing with me, like, I'm big on fitness. I want to stay in great shape because I know I'm going to have kids at a later date in my life. You know what I mean? And to add on to that, I would probably say my goal was, when I started with this real estate thing, was I wanted to be, I'm 31 now. I want to be a millionaire by 35.
Okay.
And at the rate I'm at right now, I should make that happen at 32. You know, God willing, of course, and I keep putting the work in. So that's my thing. I want to be a multi-millionaire. You know, I want to be in a position where my family is recession proof. You know what I mean? And things like that. And so as far as the dating thing, I would say I'm picky. You know, I'm picky. I'm looking for someone that can add value to the table, because I've been through a lot to get here. I sacrificed 3 years of my life. And again, I'm not saying throughout the 3 years I didn't date and I didn't go out on vacations. But what I'm saying is, all the brunch and all the fun, I sacrificed a lot to get here. So I want to be with someone that understands that mindset as well. They've sacrificed as well. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest thing. I just don't want to, most important, I don't want to get distracted.
Man, I love that, because that's the right answer. And I try to share with people is that, hey, this got to be your number one love.
Yeah.
If this got a shot at being successful, and if it's got a shot at sustainability, this got to be 24/7, 365. And unfortunately, a lot of women don't get that. They want to be number one, can't be number one. This is number one, because without me building the foundation of this house, nothing I can do for it.
We can't do anything.
Real talk, you know, come and go. And like yourself, I had got married at 33 because I was on my grind.
Right.
One thing, hey, get this taken care of, and this will take care of anything that you want, because this foundation. And I
definitely agree, because you know, and I tell people this as well. Engagement ring costs money. Wedding costs money. What comes after the wedding? I think what you go on a trip or something like that. A honeymoon
costs money.
You get back, Mr. DJ. You got bills to pay. Then you want to have a kid, it's gonna cost. You want 2 kids, it's gonna cost. She may want a new car. You want a new car. Y'all want a new house. It costs. I want to make sure I'm financially in a position where I don't have to stress about stuff like that. Because the way I think now, Mr. DJ, is I grind and hustle like I have kids and a wife waiting on me at home to bring home the bacon. So when an opportunity comes, it won't be I'm frantic and you see it all the time with a lot of guys. Man, I just had a kid. Now I really got to get my life together. No, bro, you should have already had your life together. Right. You know what I mean? So I approach the ground like it every day. So when it comes for me time for me to have kids and a wife and stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. I've been going hard anyway. You know what I mean? This is just another day to me. It's just real now. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my thing. And last but not least, Mr. DJ, I go hard because I don't, I watch my mom raise me and my siblings, right? I watch my aunts raise her kids by herself. My dad's a great guy. Don't get me wrong. But my biggest thing is this, man. I don't want anyone's daughter to come into a situation where she's struggling. You know what I mean? Not necessarily just financially, just emotionally and stuff like that. I want to make sure I'm the best version of me. So when I do, come to someone's daughter and stuff like that, I'm coming correct, man. Because I got sisters, bro. I have sisters, and I think about the way I carry myself. I want them to look at me and say, that's the gold standard right there. That whoever I marry, whoever I want to be with, he needs to be somewhat similar to my brother. So that's really my biggest thing, man. I take pride. I just don't want someone's daughter to come into an unstable situation. You know what I mean?
Man,
so that's my biggest thing, man.
Man, I love that. That is most important because I'm all about fatherhood and manhood, right. Marquis, and especially in our community, we lack in that. And the perception in the media is showing a negative, picture, which is not the absolute truth in the majority of our households. So for you to say that without even us engaging that, man, that says a lot about your character. So hats off to you that. So let's talk about this, man, because I know you're a busy gentleman. How did you scale up so fast in a short period of time? And then let's talk about 2.0 and how you making an impact from an educational standpoint to help other people have the success that you've had.
Absolutely. So what I did was, I took the system that the guy gave me for the $5,000. I tell people this, man, if you see value in something, man, pay for it. Again, one thing about it is money. The money can come back. You know what I mean? Your time cannot. So I would rather pay someone $5,000 to teach me how to scale a business to millions, as opposed to I'm on your YouTube page, Mr. DJ. I'm on this person's page trying to put a whole meal together when this guy is giving you a 4-course meal. He's just saying you have to pay a little bit more for it. So what I did was I took everything he taught me, right, and the things I knew it as well, and I hired people. This guy gave me a blueprint on templates and everything like that. And when I walked away, he said, "Man, I can see you hungry to get this done." But he's like, man, it may get tough to try to find the right people and hire them. Do not give up, because a lot of people, they're not going to go back and implement the information. So scaling up was I took the info he gave me, I tweaked it to what I needed, right? And I started hiring cold callers in the Philippines for $2 to $3 an hour, right? Then what I did was, this was probably the biggest game changer for me. I was smart enough but humble enough to know, hey, man, you cannot manage all these cold callers in the Philippines because, one, they're on different time zones.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I hired a manager in the Philippines to manage the cold callers. She's on the same timeline. She speaks their language. She's more relatable to them than I am. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So I hired her, I empowered her, and I paid her twice as what I'm paying them to manage them. And now she reports directly to me. So now I have her talking to the cold callers, making sure they're calling. She's auditing the calls and everything like that, right? Then I have my in-house guys who are my sales reps. I teach them everything they know because I had a sales background. I didn't mention it earlier, but before I started teaching, I was working at Verizon selling phones.
Okay.
But that's kind of how I cut my teeth in the sales business. I was selling phones, and of course, I didn't really feel like I was using my degree. So I said, okay, let me put a degree to work and go teach. Oh yeah, scaling up was definitely just hiring the right people, man. Like being humble and honest with yourself to say, Mr. DJ, I cannot do all this by myself. Because I did it all by myself for the most part in 2020. I made 6 figures, but I was struggling, man. You know what I mean? Stressed out. Now I'm not as stressed. I have time to jump on, calls with you and stuff like that. So the biggest thing is being open-minded enough and humble enough to say to yourself, I am not the best at everything. As entrepreneurs, it hurts to say that.
Oh, yeah.
We have a little bit of ego and chip on our shoulder. Like, man, I can do anything. You can, but do you have to? And do you need to? You know what I mean? Like, for example, you can wash your own car. You could probably change the oil in your car right now if you wanted to, but why do that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and I have this thing, man, MMA, man, money-making activities. My time needs to be focused on money-making activities. So managing cold callers in another country, I'll pay her twice as much to do that.
Love
So
it.
that's my thing.
Man, that is awesome. So tell us about 2.0.
Yes, sir.
And why we should, invest in 2.0, and how do we as a novice get off the ground in 90 days and knock down our first wholesale deal?
Okay.
Because I know that's where it is in the duplication process.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So again, let's not reinvent the wheel. You're working with someone who has 3 years of experience, who's built a 7-figure business. I paid people more than what I'm charging to really get to where I am. You know what I mean? But most importantly, I'm giving you the basics, and I'm giving you what you need to scale your business to millions. You know what I mean? But first off, I want you guys to understand you need to come in with an open mind. Number one, you need to be coachable, and you need to come in with a positive attitude and understand that this business is not easy, but it's fair. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. This is a lucrative business, but if you don't come in with an open mind to learn from me the way I'm teaching you how to do it, then it may not be for you. So I tell people to come in with an open mind, right? And my biggest thing is I tell people with the course, you get access to me. I do bi-weekly calls. You get access to my team members as well. So if you want to hear them negotiate on the phone, that's not a problem. You get my contracts, my scripts. You get everything that I've built, right, to build a 7-figure business. You're getting it for less than for a couple $100, less than $1,000. You know what I mean?
Man,
because again, Mr. DJ, I paid someone $5,000 to sit with them for a day. Right. And I tell people, let that sink in. You're learning from someone who understands where you are. I was that same person, a novice, struggling, trying to find it out, and I paid people for their time and their value to teach me and help me streamline my process.
Man, you know what, Marquis? A lot of times people don't understand the importance of that. I mean, when I went back, I remember the first conference I went to, me and my buddy in the late 90s, and we invested $3,500, man. I mean, in comparison today, that's like
that was a lot.
Yeah. Right. And my buddy was like, dude, I said, man, we're going to get in this conference. These dudes are tried, true, got the receipts.
Right.
And all I got to do is hear one thing. And here's the thing I love about entrepreneurs. We'll hear it, and a lot of times we go try to disprove that it actually works.
It's not working. Yeah.
Right. And then we figure out it works. It's like, dude, Katie barred the door. I'm doing this like a lightning bolt.
Right,
so
right.
That's the piece that separates the men from the boys. Mm-hmm. Are you willing to invest a little bit more than you can afford because you seriously want to get out of your predicament? And now you will put them in position to duplicate the stuff if they're willing, like you said, coachable, learnable, and a great attitude. I like the fact, Marquis, that you are straightforward with people and the transparency. Because here's what I see with a lot of these people on this fake medium. They always promising something like it's free, it's simple, it's easy, and all you gotta do is pop open the CD or the stream, and you're gonna make money. That ain't
how it work, man.
That ain't how it works at all. But they sell that pie in the sky, and people go buy that product, and now it makes it bad for people like you and me.
Exactly.
At the end of the day. So I can really appreciate. Man, I know you're a busy guy. What we normally do is we get Nick to give us his summarization of what he got out of the program, and then we're gonna give you a chance to wrap up. Tell us how we can get in touch with you, how we can access your program, and if you got a special that we can provide to our people. Look, man, this has been more than I expected. So again, I appreciate
the opportunity, Mr. DJ. Yes, sir.
On this program, Nick, chime on in, Nick. What you get out of this this interview with this amazing wholesale empire that Marquis Robinson is building, man? I'm excited.
Oh yeah, me too, man. I'm excited too, man. I got a lot out of this conversation, and I'll just run down some of these bullet points, and they all relate to the conversation that you and I had last night. You and I, Keith, had last night about those soft skills, and that's why I heard a lot of in this conversation, such as building relationships, with the seller, that very important, focusing on problem solving. You always hear that about businesses and entrepreneurships, want to have a successful business, find a problem and help people solve it. You hear that all the time. Also, the importance of finding a mentor, tying back into DJ, your STEAM concept there. I hear that a lot, not just in this conversation, but in all these conversations that we have on the Financial Expert series, on Bet on Black, on Nick's Knowledge and Notions, that importance of, mentorship and membership. Also teaching and learning how to fish. You know, once you do that, you know, you can eat for a lifetime, you know, and you can be in control of your own destiny and livelihood. You know, another one, leading by example.
Yes, sir. I love that one the most, because I'm gonna just interrupt here. I always tell them, Marquis, I said, this is what my dad, my grandfather told. He said, hey, you got to know how to be the janitor before you get to the CEO.
Exactly. Yeah.
And ain't nothing above what you can do, because if you don't appreciate what the janitor got to do, you're gonna be a bad CEO. Right. And you jumped off and said that from the. I said, man, that's why this brother's got massive success, because the humility and the understanding that everybody has an important role on the team, and the most important person is the person got to be at the front line that most of the time is not getting any appreciation. But back to you, Nick.
Oh yeah, I'm almost done. I got two more points, you know, that really stood out. The other one was the importance of creating systems. You know, I hear that a lot. Also, you know, in all of these conversations that we have on this platform, the importance of creating systems and how they, you know, streamline your business and help you to work smarter, you know, rather than harder.
Absolutely,
and,
man.
You know, the last thing, sacrifice. You know, sacrificing now so you can get to where you want in the future. You know, planting those seeds for the future. You know, so those are all the things that I mean, of course, there's much more, but these were the main points that really resonated with me, you know, from this conversation.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it amazing how these people we bring on the Financial Expert Series parallel stuff that we are always talking about? It's no coincidence, because that one you talk about, sacrifice, we have a saying that, hey, do the hard things now and your life gets easier the older you get. Do the easy shit now and your life's going to be harder the older you get.
Yes, sir. I like that.
You can summarize it a little bit different, but people don't get that. Go in, invest, put them 3 to 5 years in, and your life, you can live like a kid, because now you got money and you can enjoy it better as an adult.
Exactly.
And that's really what you're doing right now, and to have the wisdom at such a young age to figure this out. Hey, Marquis, man, I didn't figure this stuff out till I was like 35, bro.
Right.
So I'm so excited to see people like you, people like Tim Jackson, people like Charles Oglesby, you know, they got this, and the ability that we able to work and talk together and understand that the mountaintop is limitless for everybody.
Yes, sir.
So with that said, what would you like to say to summarize, to wrap it up? If I just came out of space, I look like you and me, and I'm trying to figure out how to master this jungle, what would be 3 things that Marquis would tell them to do from a leadership side? Secondly, 3 things from a wholesale side, and 3 things from just being a quality person to pay it forward for the next guy.
Absolutely. So I would say from a leadership side, man, you know, lead by example. I know I said it earlier, but it's very pivotal to me. Lead by example, man. Like, lead by example, but make some point, man. Treat your people well. Treat your people well. I cannot stress it enough. Treat your people well. Treat your people well. Lead by example. But last but not least, man, always stay open-minded, man. Stay open-minded, because again, you don't know everything. Someone from your team may make a suggestion that may help the business grow or become more profitable and stuff like that. So that's probably my biggest things on leadership, man. Lead by example, treat your people well, and be open-minded, man. That's the biggest thing. Like, and never stop learning, man. Like, invest in yourself. Like, be a businessman, not a hustler. I cannot stress it enough. Like, hustlers, they don't have business cards. They won't invest in learning to go into. Again, I met you at a conference. I've made over $1 million this year. I could have been like, I don't know that DJ guy. I'm staying home. No, who is this DJ guy? Who I want to meet Todd again. You know, I want to meet Erica for the first time and stuff like that. I'm humble enough to know, like, man, I may meet someone like you and Nick that may help me get to the next level, and I may be able to bring some value to you as well. You know what I mean? So I would go back to with the wholesaling, provide value and the money will come. Provide value and the money. If you help solve that seller's problem, they'll take the price that you need to get it sold, man. I cannot stress it enough. And if you really do that right, they'll sell you some more property too, or refer you to somebody. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. When you're wholesaling, focus on solving the problem and not just trying to sell them your services, okay? And last but not least, provide value. And then I say, just from an entrepreneurship standpoint, man, keep an open mind. Like I tell people, man, stay patient, stay focused, and stay prayed up. That's probably my biggest thing as an entrepreneur. Whatever your this applies to any business you in, man. Stay patient, stay prayed up, and stay focused, man, because it's gonna get tough. It's gonna be a lot of peaks and valleys in this game, but I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Oh man, you said reading. You gave us 2 books, Traction and Winning, which I listen to on Audible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's what's that third book?
That the third book I would probably say, that's a good one. This is a cliche book, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. I would definitely say, you know what I mean? That's a cliche book. Every entrepreneur has read that one, right?
That's the Bible, ain't it? That's
right. Bible. Yeah, that's the ones. I'll probably say Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I'll take it a little bit a step further though. Rich Dad Poor Dad, the cash flow quadrant.
I knew you were about to say the cash flow quadrant.
That one, it's a little bit more granular, and it really kind of breaks down the 4 different types of people. You know, people with a job, self-employed, business owners, investors, and stuff like that. Right. So once you get the understanding of those 4 positions, now you can say, now I can see where I am and where I want to be. And that's what really changed the game for me, because it really breaks it down from a tax perspective and there. Tax time perspective and everything. And most importantly, that book taught me about leverage. And I'm big on leverage. I leverage the time of employees so I can free up my time to do stuff like this. I leverage the time of my employees so I can go look at properties in Detroit and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing, man. Leverage.
Man, I love it. So with that said, how do we get in touch with you, Marquis? Absolutely. How do we get 2.0, and what's the special you willing to share with our audience for?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, Mr. DJ, you know I'm gonna take care of your audience. That's not a problem. Social media, I'm on social media. I've trademarked Wealth Forever. So on every social media, I'm very intentional about everything I do. All my moves are calculated. So Wealth Forever, wealth, right? WEALTH _ forever. That's on every platform: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, of course, Instagram. I'm heavily on Instagram as well. And I would probably say the next thing is you can catch me on my website, www.marquisrobinson.com. That's new. It just got completed not too long ago. I just got an email from my guy about that. So that's great, right? So yeah, www.marquisrobinson.com. And last but not least, man, hey, if you guys want to learn how to wholesale real estate, right? This business changed my life and it can change yours too. I'm talking about starting off making $5 to $10K a month. Guys, let's do the math. $10K a month, that's 6 figures a year. That's 120 grand a year. Man. Imagine what you can do with $5 to $10K a month. So I'm offering the Wholesale Mastery 2.0 with a 25% discount on behalf of Mr. DJ, because he's a great man and Nick's a great man as well, guys. So I can definitely send you all the link for that. And we'll give you 25% off Wholesale Mastery 2.0. The course is usually $500, but we'll give you 25% off of that. And I'm excited to work with you guys. So, you know, that's my biggest thing. Like the course is not so much about me making money. It's about me exposing people to something that changed my life. Because at the end of the day, I'm a teacher at heart.
Man, I love it. That's a tremendous value. I mean, we just the other day invested $2,000 on the mobile home, you know, part of our business, because
congratulations on that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's happening. So do you have any event coming up live that we can catch you at as well, Marquis?
No live events at the moment. I'm working on a few things, but no live events at the moment. But I am going to be working on, you know, getting that part going with the personal brand as well, because I do want to go out and meet more people. You know what I mean?
Oh, awesome. Hey, man, you know, I just had an epiphany. Since we met at Classy Climb as both speakers, and you were spontaneously brought up,
right?
To do something with you, man, because we're putting together a virtual conference, and I think you would be the add value that we're going to try to put together here in the next quarter. We'd love to do that with you. So we like to end our show the same way we do everything every time. On behalf of my business manager, Nick Westbrooks, and on behalf of our amazing expert, Marquis Robinson, Wealth Forever.
Yes, sir.
And this is the Financial Expert Series with DJ the Money Coach, and we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and
yes, sir. Wealth forever.
And wealth forever. So, hey, your beach may not be sand and water, but it's really the personal freedom and your peace of mind. So we like you. Hey, join us, share, like, and watch this, take notes, and apply, because the application is more important than the reading and anything you do. So Marquis, thank you again, my friend, for being a guest on our show.
Yes,
and
sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, you done got the best of the best in class on the Financial Expert Series with Marquis Robinson, the wholesale most best doer on the planet. 3 years, $1 million revenue, 2.5 at the end of the year. And I seen him and met him in person, and I put the seal of approval on this young man because he's doing better than I was at his age. Thank you. God bless. We'll see you on the next Financial Expert Series with DJ the Money Coach.
Thank you for the opportunity, guys.
Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. Don't touch that dial. You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses through real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and it put you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
Hi, so this is a testimonial for DJ the Money Coach. First of all, I got one of the best packages that you had, so that was A1. I love the team. They have really come through. You were amazing as a coach. Every week you showed up on time. Every single week, and trust me, I've been in a lot of courses, a lot of classes, spent a lot of money, and unfortunately some people don't do what they say that they're going to do as a coach.
Hello everybody, my name is Terry. I recently just linked up with DJ the Money Coach, and he's been very helpful, gave me a lot of information, told me how I could turn my personal credit into business credit, also showed me how I can pay for a personal vehicle through my business and corporation setup, and also set me up with Melvin to help me actually put together a will, a power of attorney, a Roth IRA.
Stop wishing better, start doing better, and move forward with somebody that has not only the knowledge, the skills, the talent, and the team to help you go where you want to go. I'll get more than my money's worth. If I can spend a few grand, several grand on a piece of luggage, I could spend a little bit to get a lot of it in the long run. So if you're thinking about doing better, stop thinking, start doing, and definitely get down with the pom-pom lifestyle.